I just saw a great movie, and I think you're gonna like it. What's up guys, Gerald here, creator of GospelChops and your host for this YouTube channel, here with a quick movie review. Last night I was scrolling through Amazon Prime and came across a recommended video called Sound of Metal. Now I'm a little late to the party. This video has been streaming on Amazon Prime since December 4th, 2020, and I'm just now hearing about it. But it caught my attention because the cover art features a bare-chested drummer sitting behind a drum kit. Now, knowing nothing about this film, I figured it was a drum video, and being a producer of drum videos, I decided to dive right in. Boy, was I surprised. The story details the journey of a heavy metal drummer and recovering addict whose life is turned upside down when suddenly he loses his hearing. The main character in the film, Ruben, is played by Riz Ahmed and also features Olivia Cook as his co-star who plays his girlfriend, Lou. Ruben and Lou make up a two-piece heavy metal band that's currently on tour playing shows night after night, and things go left when Ruben's hearing suddenly deteriorates rapidly and he can no longer play the gigs. Now, as a recovering addict, although Ruben's been clean for 4 years, it appears that he's turned that addiction into other directions and become addicted to drums. One of the main conflicts in the story is the fact that Ruben now defines himself by drumming, and that's his addiction. That controls his life. And without drums, he loses all sense of self-identity and struggles throughout the film to reclaim the life he once had as a metal drummer. Now, since this is a spoiler-free zone, I won't go into details of the storyline other than to say that this is a tremendously powerful film that I would recommend to any drummer or any musician, period, who defines themselves by their music performance. I remember one time I was in downtown Chicago and had a chance to interview bass player Sheree Reed. And during that interview, he pulled out one of his self-published books. I think it was his second book at the time that he had published on his own. And one of the things he said that really stuck with me over time is that, yeah, I'm a bass player, but I'm a creator at heart. And if you take my bass away, I'll still create. I'll write books. I'll do other things. In the film Sound of Metal, it's clear that Ruben doesn't share that same sentiment. Once his hearing is gone, and he loses his ability to play drums, he loses his sense of self, and he struggles throughout the film to reclaim it. Ruben is offered help in a sober house for the deaf, where he learns sign language and learns how to function as a non-hearing person. He becomes pretty popular at the sober house, and everybody takes to him, including the children who help to teach him how to sign. But desperate to get back to his life as a metal drummer, Ruben forsakes everything that he's acquired in the deaf community just to reclaim his sense of normality. Sound of Metal is not about drumming. It's about evolving. It's about accepting things as they are, not giving up, but adjusting to change and moving on with your life. And I think that's an important lesson to learn for everyone who's ever played an instrument and thought they were defined by what they play or how they play. The pandemic has taught us a lot of lessons, and one thing's for sure, the music industry will never be the same as it was before the pandemic. Venues are closed, tours are canceled, and musicians have been sitting at home for over a year now. The most important lesson that this film teaches is that musicians must learn to adjust to circumstance. It might be your hearing, it might be your sight, it might be your living circumstance. Whatever the change is in your life circumstance, it's important not to give up. It's important to adjust, and it's important to push through. One thing worth noting in this film is that Ruben has plenty of opportunity to move forward in a different direction in his life. But every time an opportunity is presented to him, he rejects it in an attempt to hold on to what was. And he's actually told several times throughout the film that things will never be the same. He's told that the hearing he lost will never come back. He's told that the little hearing that he has will never be the same as it was. But at every opportunity to face reality, Ruben rejects it. Like many musicians I've encountered who have the opportunity to change, they often reject it. As a matter of fact, some of you might be musicians listening to me right now who are sitting at home during the pandemic waiting for things to change, waiting for things to turn around, waiting for things to be normal. The truth is, we live in a new normal. And if we're going to be successful, we must learn to adapt to the new normal. Instead of looking to the future of what could be success under new circumstances, Ruben rejects it and he can't get out of his own way, stuck looking in the past and frustrated with the things that he's lost. In that sense, Ruben becomes his worst enemy. The performance by Riz Ahmed is nothing short of amazing, and I can't end this review without mentioning the sound design of the film. It takes you on a journey of its own, and the film would be much less than what it turned out to be without such great sound design. In the beginning, we're taken on a journey through Ruben's everyday life when he wakes up in the morning, makes coffee, makes a smoothie. We're hearing the sounds that he hears that accompany his everyday life. As the story develops and Ruben loses his hearing, the sound design takes us on a journey where we experience what he hears or doesn't hear. And the movie would be nowhere near as great if the sound design didn't take us down that path. Sound of Metal is an excellent film that includes all the elements needed for greatness, from the screenwriting to the cinematography to the sound design to the acting. All the elements are there to make this a great film, and I definitely give it a 9 out of 10. And that's it for my review of Sound of Metal. If you like what you heard, I'll leave some links in the description below where you can support my work here on this channel, or pop over to my main channel, The Real Gospel Chops, on YouTube, where you can check out some of my music content. Until next time, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.